Tuscaloosa, Alabama on Friday. I never know the date, guys. Friday, January the 19th, 2018. You can find me on social media, aka Instagram and Ravelry. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Instagram and Ravelry as Ladywing Designs, and you can message me on either one of those if you want to contact me. I'm always on Instagram and I'm always on Ravelry, so feel free to message me there. But if you would rather email me, you can email me at ladywingdesigns@gmail.com. And what else? Oh dear. I had this whole intro thing like down. I went over it right before this, guys. Anyway. Okay, so there's a Ravelry group for the podcast. If you go to Ravelry on the groups tab and search Ladywing Crafts podcast, you'll find us there, and that's where you'll be able to find show notes for each episode. In the future, we'll hopefully do some giveaways, and also any knit-alongs and other podcasters make-alongs will be there as well. What else did I want to say? There was something else about the group. Oh, also, just besides that, there are threads. There's a thread for introductions, to introduce yourself to the rest of us. There's a thread for showing off whatever you're working on, whatever craft it is. It doesn't have to be knitting or crochet. It can be spinning, weaving, dyeing. What was I trying to think of? Like needlepoint or embroidery, cross stitch, whatever. Feel free to come over there and show us what you're working on. And there's also one for talking about what you're reading, or giving recommendations or anything like that. Hopefully I'll be making some use of the recommendations that people have left there soon. Yeah, school just started back, so it's slow going on the reading right now. It just started back and it's already stopped again. So, what was the last thing I wanted to say? Oh, so links to the Ravelry group and my project pages and anything else that I talk about, maybe some other shops if I mention them, that's all in the down bar below. And the last thing, just kind of general, welcome back to all of you returning viewers. It means so much to me. At some point, I think it was a week ago, maybe, sometime in the last week and a half, I have reached over 200 subscribers on YouTube, so thank you all. We're not going to do like a giveaway or anything like that for this one. I'm just kind of waiting until a bigger milestone, but thank you so much to everyone that continues to support, popping in the Ravelry group, or even just liking my post on Instagram, or, even just watching, whether you have subscribed or commented or not. Thanks. So, oh, and welcome to, I left off half of that, so welcome to any new viewers. I hope you enjoy your time here with me today, and I hope you find something you like. So, how are you guys? Now that I've like completely butchered my intro, let's talk about how my week has been. I think that was actually pretty, wow. Okay, English. That intro, and apparently my English capabilities, are very representative of what my week has been. We had a snow day on Tuesday, so we didn't have class. We were out Monday because Martin Luther King Day is a holiday, and so we didn't have class Monday. Then we got out Tuesday for, again, snow day. We did get snow, but it was basically like all gone the next day. Like you couldn't really even that same day it had basically melted, I think. Most of it, at least. I don't know. Anyway, I didn't care. I didn't go anywhere. So I wasn't dealing with the cold at all. But yeah, so 3-day week again for classes, and it's gonna be busy, guys. I don't know if and when it'll happen. We'll either be having shorter episodes, kind of like last week. The episodes each week will either be really short because of this, or I'll have to go to every 2 weeks. We'll see. I don't want to do every 2 weeks, but it might have to happen. We'll just, I don't know. We'll just have to see. Anyway, so yeah, I've been good. Crafty wise, I'm on a roll, guys. I don't know if you'll be proud of me or not. I don't even know if I'm proud of myself or not. But it's been a lot of crafting. And by a lot of crafting, I mean I have 8 active whips to show you. 8, like the number after 7. I don't know how that happened, and actually I just cast on a new one last night. Because somehow 7 whips out of all 7, they weren't making me happy, and I started another one. I don't know. So let me go through admin so I can show you all of my fancy knitting this week. It's not really fancy. So admin, oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, this is episode 10, guys. Episode 10, yay. So yeah, that's awesome. I hit double digits, or I will once this is, you know, on the interwebs. And yeah, that feels really good to have made it through 10. So now I'm just going to aim and get myself to 20. It's like the next milestone in my head. So thanks again, you guys, for just watching and supporting, and double digits, guys. Okay. So, okay. Seriously, admin, let's keep this thing going because I'm on a time crunch. Spring garment cowl. So our first knit along, our first knit along started Sunday, 5 days ago. So it started on Sunday, and it's the spring garment knit along. Make garments that you wear to cover up with in the spring to keep that chilly wind off of you. That's basically the gist of it. You know, whatever accounts for your spring or fall type, you know, chilly weather, whether it's just, you know, a simple cardigan or maybe like a poncho, a vest, you know, a light sweater if that's, you know, if you prefer to layer, that type of thing, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to, like I've said in previous episodes, I'm not going to really like moderate what people are making and like look at your project pages and the yarn, and everyone lives in a different type of climate. Whatever is kind of your spring or fall like throw over garment, that's fine. But remember, they do need to be garments. So no shawls, no cowls. Spring garment cowl is going on. I will leave a link to the chatter thread in the down bar below, so check that out. Feel free to come chat with us. Tell us what you're working on, how far you are in your project. Maybe if you haven't started yet, what yarn are you using? Show us a gauge swatch if that's all you have. I don't care. I just would love to see what some people are working on, what garments you guys are making. Oh, and I never mentioned this, but if you want to show it off on Instagram, and I guess you could also tag your Ravelry project pages with this as well. But on Instagram, we're going to be using the hashtag springgarmentkal. Last time I checked, it wasn't taken by anything else. I think I and maybe Melissa have already used it once. So yeah, use that hashtag. And I think I went over all the details last week, and they're in the chatter thread in the top post. Yeah, so go check that out. And oh, so the other knit alongs thread, so like I said a couple weeks ago, or like I have been saying in the past episodes, I started a thread for other knit alongs, or make alongs in the community. And what's probably going to happen is just kind of like now for admin every week, I'll just be like, hey, here's some other knit alongs that I've kind of found in the last week for you guys. I'm probably not going to go into grave detail about this every week just because it takes a lot. And I don't know if I'll keep linking that thread below. I probably, like, there will be a link to the Ravelry group, and it is one of the sticky threads that's at the top with the green arrow. So I'm probably not going to link to it every week, but I will, you know, I've been finding some because I do watch a decent bit of podcasts, so let's get into that. So like I said, there's a thread in the Ravelry group. It is, I think the title of it is Other Make-Alongs, and in the header there is a list of, of make-alongs that are going on in other podcast groups. I have linked all of them to the chatter threads for those knit-alongs or make-alongs. And they're separated into two categories right now, like themed, so like if it's a sock or a garment or like a spring make-along, that type of thing. Or if you guys know ones for specific patterns. So right now the only one that's up there is the My Sister shawl from Cozy Up. You know, maybe later down the line we'll find some other ones. Oh, and actually there's one that I can put on there. I'll talk about it later. So anyway, so the knit-alongs that I've found for you guys this week. So there's the Battle the Brioche 2018, which is being held by the Woolen Homestead, the Commercial Yarn Along in the Stranded podcast group, the Pod People Cowl in the Mad Fuzzy podcast group, the Happy Scrappy Sock, is it Sock Cowl? Yeah, Happy Scrappy Sock Cowl in the Happy Scrappy Life podcast group, and then Garments Galore Cowl from Little Big Knits. So like I said, I'm not going to link to each one of these below, and I will, this week I will leave a link to the other make-alongs thread, but I probably won't do that every week. So from here on out, it might not be there, but it is in the Ravelry group if you go there, and all of the ones that I read off to you have already been linked. And, oh, another thing that I wanted to mention about those, they are listed in chronological order by their end date. So I try when I look them up to find the end date. So some of them will say like till January 31st or till March, 15th or something, or all of the year-long ones are at the end. So they, and a lot of them kind of have like year of the garment from Yarngasm. Like those are at the bottom of the themed list, and in parentheses they do say year-long. So you can just kind of scan the dates and look at those. So yeah, that is all for admin. It took forever to get through all of that. I don't know, somewhere around 10 minutes, which is insane. But I'm not going to cut any of this, because if I don't cut any of it, that means I have to do less editing. So I'm sorry in advance for for anything that gets, if it's like super serious, I'll probably cut, but my craziness is not getting cut out this week, so I'm sorry ahead of time. That's all I have to say. No showing off today. I'm wearing jeans. Actually, it's hand-me-down day. I'm wearing some pants my mom just gave me that were too little for her, and I'm wearing a Bama hoodie that she gave me a while ago. It's one of my favorite hoodies, and it's super comfortable. Yeah, so no showing off today. That was my showing off, me telling you that I'm basically wearing hand-me-downs. Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, no finished objects. This is not a finished object, guys. I know several of you are probably looking like, oh, is that finished? No, it's not. It's sitting there because I have so many whips that I had all of them kind of like spread out. I'm on my couch, and the coffee table is what the laptop is on, and right next to it, I have like a giant space where I like to sit my knitting, and all of the project bags were kind of in a, small group down here, and the blanket was on top. Anyway, I had to move it, and then I put all the project bags up here, so now it's kind of pointless. Beyond the point. I guess since I'm already talking about my blanket, let's just go ahead and show it. So we're already in whips. I tried to work on things this week that just made me happy. That's why I have so many active whips too, because, I would work on this for a while, and then I would be like, okay, I don't really feel like working on this anymore, I'm bored, and I would just, look at my project bags and be like, well, let's work on this. It has, something other than knitting. Maybe it had lace or, other things. So that's why I have so much for you guys this week. I have nothing finished, but I've been working a lot. So, Cozy Memories blanket. Sorry. Well, okay, I'm saying sorry, but because I'm pretty sure that I just hit my laptop, but you guys couldn't feel that. See what I mean? Crazy things like that, not getting cut out this week. Also because that was just really funny. Anyway, so this one doesn't have a little marker on it. That's going to bother me. Okay. So, I think I don't remember how many squares I had left before I started working on this week, but now I have 21 squares left. So I think I've mentioned it in previous episodes. My squares, so you can see my squares are kind of big. And I love this size square. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about that. And at this point, it doesn't matter anyway. But my squares are kind of big because I am using 55 stitches per square and a 2.75 millimeter needle. And these are the signatures that Melissa gave me. So I'm using, kind of a big needle already, and I'm a loose knitter, and I'm using more stitches. So my squares are kind of big, but I love it. Anyway, so I only need I'm making this for my bed. It's a queen size, and if you remember in the beginning, I like worked up the length and then worked back across on the bottom, and now I'm just filling them in, so I only have to pick up stitches. I have 21. I think it's 21. Did I get to the end down here? Yes? Yeah, I did. Okay, so 21 squares left to do. Like, that's it. I mean, and all of the ends on the back, but I can still use the blanket and weave in the ends. So I'm almost there, guys. So I'm just gonna hold this up and kind of show you, just kind of go across. So the ones with either the orange or the green little clippy stitch markers are the ones that have been added this week. And I actually used most of my clippies, like all of the ones that weren't being used already, ended up in my blanket to show off my squares. So I did a lot this week, and I'm super excited about that. I'm really close to being done, and I'm really excited. Oh, that was the end. Yeah, so you can see, like, is this the bottom? No. This is like the side edge on the other side, going up. Like, I'm already working even on that. And this is what I like to call across the top. Yeah, so it's getting there. I love that I decided to work it this way, kind of like from the corner and filling it in up towards the top, the other top corner, because since I'm working it diagonally, each row will have one less square, so it's really feeling like I'm making a lot of progress. And it's super comfy. Even after I finished, I ran out of like my little stitch markers, and I just really haven't felt like working on it again this week. So that was great, but yeah, so after I finished working on it this week, I've actually been just like using it to cover up while I knit on other things, because it's totally big enough for that, even without being done. So that's great. I'm super in love with that. And the only other thing I had to say about it, so this is my Ravenclaw Harry Potter bag, that, I can't read that. Anyway, I can't remember. Maybe I'll ask Melissa. I can't read Stitching Plaza, maybe? Place? I don't know. I'll ask Melissa if she remembers who this bag is by, and I'll pop it on the screen for you guys. But this is the Ravenclaw Harry Potter bag that she got me. So in this bag, if you remember, I had all of the minis that Melissa had given me, and a couple others, but most of what was in here were the minis she gave me. I finished using all of those. Of course, this is just the first round. We're getting together after this, which is why I'm on a time crunch. We're getting together in a couple hours, and I don't remember if she's giving me more today, but there's more minis that we still have to exchange. So I had taken home a ton of minis that could have gone in the blanket to help me finish, when I was planning to finish at the end of the year. So I just took a couple of bags of those and dumped them all in here, and then just kind of like shook it up. And so I'm back to doing what I was doing when I had Melissa's minis in here, just kind of keeping it open next to me and reaching in and just pulling out a mini and putting it in the blanket. And then when I this will lead into the next project. So when I finish with putting the mini in the cozy memories blanket, I pop them in my Erin Lane houndstooth bag, and so you can see there's some minis in here, and when they go in here, they end up going in another whip that I started, because one scrappy blanket is not enough. So yes, I finally started a crochet scrappy blanket. No, it is not a granny stripe, because I would say anyone that knows me, but I don't know if I tell people this very much, but like my family knows. So like for the for the ease of keeping the conversation going, anyone who knows me knows that I do not like conforming, I guess you could say. I really don't like it. I write the day before the month. I add a U in words like color and honor, kind of like they do in England, because I think it looks cool. I use military time on every clock possible. I put 2 straws in my cups when I go out to eat instead of 1. I'm weird. Really, my whole family's weird, but like, yeah, it's just how I am. So, at first, like months ago, I had actually started a granny stripe, and then I actually ripped it out because I don't know, it just didn't feel right to me, I think. And so I just ripped it out. Plus I wasn't really working on it that much, and so I was like, this is kind of pointless to have it then. So, and sorry for the sniffing. You guys know. Oh no, actually it's because, again, I tried to skip taking my allergy pill so that I wouldn't sniff. Yeah, my allergies are still acting up, so sorry ahead of time. But anyway, so when I wanted to start this, I said, I don't really want to do a granny stripe because everyone's doing a granny stripe. And I learned to crochet before I learned to knit. And even when I started knitting, when I started kind of knitting more, I was really still crocheting more than I was knitting. So I've done a fair amount of granny squares and granny stripes, and I don't want to do granny clusters. No, thank you. It gets very old to me very quick, and I would not have liked it. So, instead, I'll talk about the bag in a second. I'm just going to keep going. So, instead, I started that's why I'm just calling it my crochet blanket. I'm literally just working double crochets through both loops. It looks like I'm only doing like through one or the, front or back loop, but no. It is through both loops that I'm crocheting, and I'm just doing double crochet. And I love this. So this blanket is going to be for my couch. So, I don't know, maybe if I remember, I probably won't, let me not even say that. I put it across, like, the back of my couch, the other day, and it reaches kind of from the end to maybe, like, here. You can't see, like, the end of the couch in this shot, but it'll cover most of the couch, which is what I wanted. So, yeah, I'm loving it, and I'm just using scraps. What I'm kind of doing is just saying, like, so like for this color that I started with down here, I just kind of worked, and then like when I got 2 rows, I was like, okay, I'm ready to move on now. This one is going to be way more sporadic, I think, than my Cozy Memories, because it's going to be awesome. Like all of the tiny scraps that I end up with from this that are like 2 or 3 grams, they can go in here. Like I've already knocked out a couple, that I just had a little bit of left, and they're already gone. So I'm super excited. I have no idea how many stitches this is. Maybe at some point I will count for you guys, but I have no idea. I did not count when I started. So this is where I started here at the bottom. I just YouTubed how to do foundation double crochets because I didn't feel like chaining. I just kind of wanted to start it and get going on it. So I did foundation double crochet, and I don't remember which video I used, but just, YouTube how to do it, and US terms, double crochet, which is a treble in the UK. But yeah, just YouTube. There are a ton of good videos for how to do that. So that's what I did. I'm using a Clover hook. Oh, that makes it worse. Never mind. I don't know if you guys can see that. But anyway, it's a Clover hook, a 2.75 millimeter hook, and yeah, it makes me super happy that it's yellow, because they have like the little grippies and they're different colors for different sizes. The fact that it just happens to be yellow is hilarious to me. Anyway, so for right now, I had to do like some project bag switcheroos. I have so many whips that I've discovered I actually don't have enough projects for like bigger project bags for like bigger whips. So whenever I do start buying things again, I'm gonna kind of have to look for some more project bags. We'll see. Anyway, so I'm keeping this blanket for right now in my Alice bag that I got in that Alice kit that I showed you guys a while ago. But the bag is by Stitch Life Bags, and she is an Etsy shop. So yeah, I love this bag. Super cute. Okay, so blankets are out of the way. And sorry for all the moving and like my face being in the camera and stuff. I'm just gonna like throw all my project bags back down there as we go, because whoops, earthquake. Okay, now next, oh dear, oh, it's right here in front of me. Okay, so spring garment cowl started, woot woot, and so I had started mine beforehand because I'm not eligible for prizes, and whips are allowed anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. So in my Manicory Creations bag, sorry, I just got yarn things in my mouth. Fiber, like flying. You guys know what I mean, right? Surely this happens to someone other than me. So, okay, so anyway, in here is my Rosemont cardigan, and this is the yarn that I'm using. Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted in the Delft Heather colorway, and there's just the back if you would like a little perusal. But yeah, so I've discovered that so what I've been doing, I actually haven't taken this one anywhere. I'm taking it with me to meet Melissa later, but it actually hasn't left the apartment that much. But I do keep 2 balls of this yarn in here at a time, and lately, because like I said, it hasn't really left the apartment, I have the bag of yarn just sitting right here next to my project bags, and so usually, like, if I'm just here, I'll just pull one out of that, so I don't, take these out and then forget to replace them. So I really have not worked on this a lot this week. I showed it, okay, come on, I showed it to you guys last week, and then after I podcasted, and I think it was already uploaded and everything, Melissa and I, we were both back in, well, she never left Tuscaloosa, but I had already come back. We were both that lazy. We did a virtual knit night on Zoom across a few miles, which was kind of funny, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Sometimes you're just too tired to like drive 15 minutes, But anyway, so I really only worked on it after that. I've maybe done 2 or 3 rows, like this actual week. Not a lot has gotten done on it. But anyway, so here it is. This is the back. So last time I was where the marker is right there. I was about right there. I had worked a few rows and then remembered I needed to put in a marker. So I was about right there the last time. So, I mean, I've kind of doubled it from where it was. It's rolling, but I mean, I've actually done a good bit. So last time I had already separated for the sleeves, so those are still there. And this is, oh dear, this is kind of a front view, you know. It's rolling because it's all stockinette. So, yeah, so that's where I am right now. I think I'm right at 10 inches on the body, and I have to work until 13. So, yeah, that's happening. I'm contemplating if I want to work to 14 or 15 inches for the body, because I don't know yet, just because that is more yarn. I did get an extra skein. I think I got one extra skein of yarn though. I don't know. We'll see. Um, what I might do is get to 13 on the body and then do the sleeves and then maybe come back. I don't know. I still need to try it on too. I'm going to try it on and see where it is at some point and then kind of measure like those extra 3 inches or whatever. So I might actually like wherever it's supposed to end up. I really haven't looked at this much, but yeah, so this is where I am. It's going really good so far. I'm going to work on it some with Melissa. Maybe I can get some stuff done on it. I'm using US size 6, which is a 4mm on my Clover Takumi, wow, bamboo interchangeables. Yeah, I never really mentioned like exactly, you know, what brand needle I'm using, but just for the future, because I probably won't remember, I do not have that many needles. In fact, I now have 2 interchangeable sets, aka we have retail therapy today. Yeah, this was the first interchangeable set I had. So, you know, I guess if you guys have kind of been paying attention, you always see these wooden needles. That's what they are. I have a Takumi combo interchangeable set by Clover. And I got that a couple Christmases ago. Yeah, Christmas of 2015, my dad got it for me. But yeah, so that's usually the needles that I'm using. That's where my Rosemont is. This is how much I have on the ball that I'm currently using. It's fairly new. So, yeah, that's happening. And I actually really want to try to get this done this month, by the end of this month. By which I mean, like, I would really like to get the knitting done. Okay, at least the knitting done so that I can count yardage for a Harry Potter class. But it would be great if I could actually like finish weaving in ends, blocking, like everything, because then I could get a full class instead of a partial. Anyway, so one of these times I may just have to, maybe I'll do that, like when February starts, maybe I'll just like do a whole segment and like go over house cup stuff. Probably not. Do any of y'all participate in the house cup? I don't know. Anyway, I just think it would be fun to do. I like talking about the house cup, but also like if nobody's going to be interested, then I'd rather not confuse you, you know? So, next project, I don't even know what I just grabbed. I have no idea. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to talk about this. So, what did I just grab? Oh, okay. So, in my, is this Aggie's bags? Oh dear, I should know this. I should know this, guys. Yes, it is. This is my Harry Potter Aggie's bag. Order of the Phoenix themed, Dumbledore's Army, and all its Harry Potter goodness. But anyway, so, in this bag is a languishing UFO. Actually, no, languishing whip. It cannot be a UFO because the knitting's not done. So last March, I think it was last March, I started, it was back when Melissa and I had kind of like first met, and our local yarn shop was still open then, and the owner had asked us if we would like to teach a class on brioche, on how to knit brioche. And we said sure, but neither of us had tried it yet. So we were going to knit the All About That Brioche shawl by Lisa Haynes. Is it Haynes or Hannes? It has two N's. I think it's Haynes. I think that's what I've heard other people say. But yeah, so All About That Brioche shawl. And yeah, we started it. Melissa was good and she finished hers. And mine just sat. And then over the summer, when I was at my internship, I took it and I worked on it. So if you've seen the pattern before, there's like a garter section and then brioche and then like an inverted brioche, so the colors switch, and then the other garter section in the second color. I had not even gotten through most of the first garter section, and it just sat for months. And then over the summer, finished the garter and did both of the brioche sections. And then I think I like got to the end of a cake of yarn for the second color, and then just never wound it up. Just never wound it up and joined it and finished it. So this whip is almost a year old, and I finally pulled it out. We've been trying to motivate each other to finish things lately, and we remembered that this was still sitting around. So, alright, get ready for all the sneezing to increase as well. I'm going to try to get this back in the bag ASAP, because it's alpaca. I've discovered that I probably should not knit with alpaca, even though I love it. Stuff flies everywhere, and anyway. So, where's the front? That's the back. No, I was right. This is the front. Okay, so here is what I have so far. So when I got, and I'll tell you the yarns in a second, but when we were having that conversation in our local yarn shop and I bought the yarn, I wanted this beige and the red, but she only had, I think, 2 skeins of the beige, and I needed 3. So I had to get, and there's some of this brown left over, but I have no idea where it is, so I'm sorry. But she had this 1 skein of brown that I thought would look cute. And Melissa was the one, I think, that gave me the idea to stripe it, actually. So I striped this first section, and I actually just like sporadically striped it. And I love the way it looks. And so then, sorry, these needles are not quite long enough. So then I took the red and did the brioche. So like the first brioche section is there, and then you invert the colors. That's what I was saying earlier. So it shows up differently. And after that, I had done, like, there are like transition rows in the pattern, and so there are 2, and I did both transition rows in the red. And then that was when I ran out of the red yarn, out of the first skein. And for some reason, just never wound up the next one and attached it and kept going. So I finally picked this up last night. I wound up the next red skein, and I still have 1 left in there. But I wound this up, and I worked. I was like, I should get most of this garter section done. No. I also thought, for some reason, that I only had like 24 rows left. Lies. Apparently you're supposed to do the, I looked at the pattern last night. Apparently the repeat is 6 rows. You're supposed to do the repeat 11 times. That is 66 rows, not 24. Anyway, yeah. So it's going to be a while, and I'm losing stitches. Yeah, and it really will be a while for me, just because I've discovered that I cannot work with alpaca that much. This was just flying everywhere. Of course, this is mostly alpaca. So, did I write it down? Okay, so I don't have any more of this light beige color, but it is, so all of these are blue sky fibers. The beige and the red are the alpaca silk base in crabapple and sand dune. Oh my gosh. I love them. They're all super soft, but everything's just flying everywhere. And then this darker brown is, again, Blue Sky Fibers. This is the baby alpaca in streaky brown is the name of the colorway. And, you know, like I said, I love it. It's super awesome, but, like, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but, I mean, maybe you can kind of see, like, oh my gosh, look at that. Like, in front of my face. You can kind of see it's just got this incredible halo, and I love it. It's awesome. It's super soft, and it looks beautiful. I love working with it, but it was just like flying in my face. It got in my eye at one point last night, and I was just like, I'm done. I'm done. I cannot work on this. Yeah, I love it, but I think it was a bad idea to go with yarns that were mostly alpaca. Yeah, see, like, now I'm gonna have, I'm sorry, I have alpaca everywhere now, and I already didn't take my pill, so you guys know the drill, right? I'm gonna be sniffing and, alright. Anyway, so that's that. I picked up a languishing whip. Hopefully that will be something that I do a lot, like, over the year. I have a lot of them that I need to get done, languishing whips, that is. So hopefully, and I actually have a few languishing UFOs too, unfinished objects. So hopefully those will get taken care of. Maybe I can kind of do like, oh, I can't remember her name, but one of the ladies on the Faking Sanity podcast, she has like a, what's she call? Like a lucky dip, lucky whip. I can't remember. Basically, she has this giant project bag. She has a ton of languishing whips or UFOs, and she like has them all wrapped kind of like in Walmart bags, and she like tosses them all in the bag, and you know, she did it a while ago, so she doesn't remember what they are, and the other lady that's on the podcast with her like will pull out one every week, and then the next week she has to finish it. That's a great idea, but I won't be doing it won't be an every week thing, but it'll happen. So maybe we can do that. So next, okay, I think I'm almost there, guys, as far as whips anyway. This is going to be a longer episode. So, I don't know what happened. I'm not even going to try to figure it out. Okay. Anyway, so my Advent socks, for which the minis and the socks are all being held in my Quirky Monday Crafts sock size bag. I can't remember what she calls the size, small or something like that. I think it's her smallest size besides her little Notion pouches. But yeah, so this is my Starry Night bag, which I love. Anyway, so I did work the tiniest amount on my Advent socks, and by tiniest amount, I mean that I basically added the red. This is my little peppermint hot chocolate or mocha peppermint flavored drink. Progress Keeper from Bay Street Yarns. Yeah, from Bay Street Yarns. Yeah, so I basically have just added the red in. I had already magic knotted it together. But I finally got into the red, and that's all I did. That's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, 6 rounds. That's all I did. I just didn't feel like working on these much, but I need to get these done because I have decided that I'm not going to do all of these. My sock goal for the year is already 20. I do not need all of these socks because I was just trying to use up my minis. And that's great. I love that idea still, but that, you know, this one only used 4. That's like 9 or 10 pairs of socks just from my minis. I would rather work on other pairs of socks. So, yeah, with other yarn that I have. So, I'm going to, this is the first one that I had finished. You guys have seen this before. and I'm going to finish this one. I think I'm closing in on where I need to start the gusset increases, I think. So I'm going to finish the second sock, and then this is just going to be a pair of socks, and the rest of these are going to go on my crochet blanket, because these minis are all like 5 or 6 grams left. A couple of them have like 9 or 10, but it's not that many of them. So very, very minimal progress on that, but I already had so many whips, I figured I might as well show you. The other whip that you guys have been seeing a lot is being held in my Fringe Supply Co. field bag. Looking a little janky there when I showed it. So in this are my, pulling out needles, in this bag are my I Love You More Than Pumpkin Spice socks by CC Almond. And I have finished the first sock. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love this pattern. It's super intuitive, super quick. Like once you have done the repeat, I'll just kind of flash it, but once you or I'll just hold it back here. So once you've done the repeat a couple of times, it's awesome. You know, I do still kind of have to glance to make sure that I'm doing the right thing on the right row, but it's super intuitive. Like, you don't necessarily have to look at it if you just kind of memorize little key points in the chart. So yeah, so here are my pumpkins. Look at them. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love them so much. And anyone that knows me knows that, like, I'm not a pumpkin person. Like, we don't do, like, pumpkin pie, and I don't drink, like, pumpkin spice lattes, or, you know, I don't do pumpkin. But I just think, wrong side. I just think these are super cute. And I love the little kind of, like, twisted, I think these are more twisted stitches than cables. This little detail on the side and, like, in the middle of the pumpkin. But I love it. It's super awesome. I love this pattern. And it's super scrunched in because of the cable pulling it in, but I tried it on my foot when it was back here and it fit very well. So this pumpkin stitch marker from Cabinet of Curios on Etsy, that is where I was last week when I showed you guys. So I finished the foot, and then I added in my German short row heel, and then I kept going on the leg, and this is the pattern on the back. I love this. This is my favorite part of the entire pattern. It just looks super pretty. I love it. So yeah, the first one's done, and I started the second one just before this, just before I was recording. I finished the toe and did the setup row before you start the foot in the chart again. So yeah, so that's where I am. Just have the toe and the setup row done, or setup round. Yeah, so I'm gonna start on that hopefully within the next week. And here's my yarn, same as always, Cascade Heritage in the pumpkin colorway. And yeah, I like this color. Not a color that I wear often, but you know, the socks, they'll be on my feet. So one thing that I did have in here I wanted to say. Oh, so I am using my oh my gosh, English. Although I don't know if Chalgu is English, but anyway, I'm using my Chalgu Mini Twist 1.5 millimeter needles that Melissa gave me. I love this cord. I've always loved Chalgu's cords. And yeah, so I'm using 1.5 millimeter for the knitting of the sock in general. And then one thing that I discovered, I needed a cable needle for kind of like the big twist that happens, kind of like to make the pumpkins in the pattern. And I got my smallest, it's put up somewhere, I got my smallest cable needle, but I felt like it was still too big, like it was pulling my stitches too much. So instead, I got out, I don't know if you guys can tell how janky these are, because I have to hold them really tight because they're tiny, so they're just bent all out of shape. Anyway, yeah, like look at that. That's insane. So, anyway, so I got out my 1.75 millimeter needles, and these are Addy Turbo sock rockets. Yeah, but I got these out, and I just kind of use this as my cable needle, instead. So, yeah, that was all I wanted to say about that. Slowly but surely, really need to finish the first, like the first pair. This is for my owl. You guys have heard me talk about it before. I really need to finish this first pair of socks by the end of January. And actually, I need to like finish these and then like already have the second ones on the needles. Oh, another thing that I wanted to say. So I've started doing this with my last few pairs of socks, and I just keep forgetting to talk about it. So I hate when I'm done with socks having to like flip them inside out and weave in ends then. And so for all of my owl socks, I'm not doing contrast colors. So what I've been doing, and I was doing this a little on some pairs before these. So when I finish the toe, I flip it inside out and I weave in the end. So that at the end, especially since these are only going to be one color, you know, when I get up here to the top, I just have to worry about weaving this end. I don't have to flip it all the way out and then, you know, come back down here for that. So it just makes it a little easier, and it's kind of like weaving in the ends as you go, which, you know, for me, that's a big deal. Did I already? Yes, I already talked about that. Okay. So, second to last whip. Man, I gotta hurry up, guys. I'm almost at an hour already, and we still have Cravin It and retail therapy. And I only have an hour. Okay, so I mentioned earlier in the podcast, I had 7 whips, almost all of which I've showed you. I had 7 whips, all of which I'm loving. Like I've never had this many like active whips before, but I'm actually really enjoying all of them. They're making me really happy, and just kind of being just kind of free, so to speak, and just, you know, saying, oh, I don't feel like working on this anymore. Let's grab another one, switch it up. That's making me really happy. Um, but last night I was not in the mood to work on any of them. I looked at all of my project bags and I said, I don't want to work on any of that. So I cast on something else. Yeah, so I had, let me show you the yarn. Oh, I know what I forgot to talk about. Okay, anyway, so I'll mention it later. So the yarn that I'm using is Rita Mae yarns, and I've showed this stuff before when I got it. So there's her little card. And so, where's the other one? So the colors that I have, which I think you can kind of figure out which is which, but the colors that I have are Crimson and Elephant. And this is her Sweet Pea soft base, which is 75/25 superwash merino nylon. Of course, it's the only thing I buy. So, she had an Instagram post. I told you guys these when I got it, but she had an Instagram post with these two, and she was like, oh, look at these, you know, these would be really cute together. And she had the names of them, Crimson and Elephant. Do I need to say any more than that? Like, I go to Alabama. So, Crimson is one of our school colors, and Big Al is an elephant. Anyway, so, you know, maybe some of you guys aren't football fans. Anyway, so I originally bought this because I was like, Mom would love this combination, and I can make her a shawl. It was going to be her Christmas present, and then she said, you know what? No, I don't want that. You don't have to. Not that she didn't want it, but, you know, she's like, well, you don't have to make me that for Christmas. Like, I would rather have blah, blah, blah. Which actually ended up not happening. But, anyway, so, and this is, no offense, but it's still not for her. I think she might steal it when I'm done, but I'm not actually making it for her. Anyway, that's normal. So yeah, I'm using both of these beautiful colors. Like, seriously, this gray is making my entire life. It's super tonal and it's just gorgeous. Oh my gosh. I love it. I want to get more of this gray. It's so pretty, guys. Yeah, but anyway, I'm loving working with her yarn so far. And the project that I decided to start is a colorwork cowl. After she said that she didn't want the yarn for like fingerless mitts or a shawl or anything, I said, well, great, because I know a project that I've been saying I wanted to do for 2 years, and I never did it. So I'm finally doing it. I finally have the perfect yarn. And that is the Walking with Elephants cowl by Amanda A. Davidson. And I'll pop a picture up here of the cowl. It won't be the one that's on the project page just because the yarns that she used, I feel like it doesn't show the pattern too well, so I'll pop up, well, I can't really use one from other people's project pages without their permission. I'll put up the one from the pattern page. Anyway, it's up there. Might already be gone, might still be there. Actually, I'll probably just put, anyway, you guys will have seen it. So it's this beautiful elephant pattern, colorwork pattern, like all over the cowl. It's great. I love it. It's only, the entire pattern is one chart, and she says, hey, do like very minimal instructions because literally it's just you working off of the chart for most of the time. And so she has the chart and she says, you know, cast on this many, work the chart twice for both sides. Yeah, like it's super simple, and I've been working off of charts for a while, so I really like it. Um, so this is all that I have done. That's it. I just started it last night, and so like pretty much right before I went to bed, so I didn't have too much time to do anything, and then I worked on it earlier when I got back from my class. So there are 6 rounds of ribbing that I've already done, and then you add in the contrast color for a row. So there's like some knit rows right here stockinette. Yeah. And so I've done the rows before, and so the next I'm ready. I left a few stitches so that my stitch marker wouldn't fall off, and then I'm going to be doing the first colorwork round. So I'm really excited about that. So this is going well. Like I said, I love working with her yarn so far. Yeah, it's going great. So I'm using what size needle am I using? I don't know. I'm using US 2s, 2.75 millimeter. And if you've noticed, on a couple of my projects now, I've got these new fancy shiny. I told you I had some retail therapy. Just wait for it. So, yeah, so these are on some new needles, and I'm loving them. And these stitch markers, my little bee is from Sugar Tots. Yep, I think it's Sugar Tots. And then I have one of my not safe for work stitch markers from A Needle Runs Through It, and can't tell if you guys can read that. Hopefully you can kind of figure it out. I will not read it. And I won't put it on the screen either, so, yeah. If you read it, I hope you got a good laugh out of it, because that's how I was feeling last night. Yeah. So, that's that. Oh, and this is my, nested designs. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. Anyway, this is my Nested Designs eyeglass project bag. It was one of the very first ones that I got, and I love it. So yeah, this project actually didn't even have a project bag until right before I podcasted. I like to take all of my things out of bags to show you guys, so I had to go find a project bag for it really quick. Okay, hey guys, Zakia from the future, aka Saturday. But okay, so I've just finished telling you guys about my Walking with Elephant cowls, or cowl, just singular. And I was looking at the project page last night, and I didn't know that this was happening because I bought the pattern 2 years ago, but the designer is donating 100% of the proceeds from like selling that pattern to now I can't remember, it's like a wildlife trust. So basically in I think it's, I can't remember exactly what month it was that she posted this, but I think it was maybe November when she updated this. But anyway, so Obama had legislation put in place so that Americans could not bring back elephant trophies into the country, and Trump rolled that back. So Ellen DeGeneres has like she's taking donations for it, and the designer wanted to give back and help out with that also. So 100% of the proceeds are going to a wildlife trust, and she has the specific one on the pattern page for for the cowl. But I thought that it would be great, and I would love to give away a couple copies of the pattern. It's only $4 US, so I'll give away 2 copies. So I'm going to start a thread in the Ravelry group, and it'll be something blatantly obvious, walking with elephants giveaway, or I don't know, something like that. But yeah, just head over there. I'm not going to link it below so that it's not obvious that there's a giveaway to someone that's not actually watching. So yeah, head over there. It'll only be in the Ravelry group. I'll leave it up. I don't know, maybe just 1 week, depending on how many people comment, but probably just 1 week. So the next time I podcast, I will draw 4 winners for that. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Head over there, and now back to Zakia of Friday. But okay, done with whips for the moment. Remember that I am doing the My Sister Shaw Mystery Knit Along. It will be at the very end of the podcast episode. So you can skip to the end. I won't have a timestamp because I won't remember to put it in there. Sorry. So just kind of, go over the YouTube bar, like where you can, like the Finder little bar. You can they usually have like the little picture that pops up, so you can kind of see what's happening at that second. Maybe skip to the end when I'm holding this up again, if you want to see that now, or just wait for it. We don't have too much else to talk about, so hopefully it won't take that long. So, okay. Now that we've gotten through all of that, oh my goodness, it took me an hour just to do whips, guys. It's crazy. So, Cravin It, because I have some things coming up. So, the first thing that is definitely going to happen soon is the Scant Hat by Lee Meredith. It's a top-down hat pattern, and so this is the yarn that I'm going to use, just some good old acrylic. So I got some Karen Simply Soft in just black is the name of the colorway. And yeah, I'm going to use this says to use a US 8, which is a 5mm needle. I'm going to use a US 7 because I want it, 1, because I knit kind of loose anyway, and 2, because I want it to be a little tighter, so I'm going to go down to a 7, which is a 4.5mm. I'm making this hat for my boyfriend. Of course, now that I'm making it, it's kind of getting warmer again here, but it's still kind of chilly, and we're probably going to have at least one more cold snap before we really get into spring later. So I'm going to make him a hat. But of course, it is for points, because he already got his Christmas present. That was socks. So this hat will also get me some points for the second Quidditch match on House Cup. So, yeah. And the match ends Tuesday. Is Tuesday the 23rd? I think it is. So I actually really need to do this weekend while I have a little bit of free time. But that will be happening. And like I said, it's a top-down hat, and I've never done that before. So I'm kind of interested to see how that works. And then, what's the next one? So I signed up for a test knit before I got back, while I was at home. And it's somebody that I can't remember her real name right now. I'll put it on the screen with the pattern name, but I can't remember her real name. I'm just thinking of her Ravelry name. But I've done a test knit for her before, if not 2, maybe. But yeah, so anyway, it's called the Bletchley Cowl. I think I'm saying that right. Bletchley Cowl. I need to make sure that's the right name. It's a test knit. and it's a cowl with a cable pattern on it, and it calls for DK weight. So I still have basically all of this yarn. I never finished that other chestnut with the hat. I'm so bad. Last semester was just not happening, but I'm gonna do it, guys. I'm gonna do it. I need to cast this on this weekend. So there's a stupid sticker. I didn't look. Anyway, so Patton's Classic Wool DK Superwash. It's 100% pure new wool. They come in 50-gram balls. And I have 6 of these red ones. And the name of the colorway is Claret. There you go. So, yeah. So I don't know how many skeins that'll take, but it's fine. I don't mind using it for that cowl. So I really need to start that this week. It's due, I think, middle of February. But I'm gonna try to get it done. I don't know. Hopefully before January. I need to just go ahead and start it, because I should have already started it by now. So, okay, last thing for Cravin It is, I don't know why I set that back over there. So last thing for Cravin It is another mystery knit along, which has already started, but I didn't find out about it. Melissa told me about it, and I didn't find out about it until the day that it had started, and so okay, let me tell you what it is first. So it's Till the Cowls Come Home by Mary Annarella. And I haven't swatched yet. I don't know if I will swatch. I think Melissa said she started it. I don't know. It said, the swatch said that you needed to do stockinette stitch on the bias. I need to look up how to like knit that way, like on the bias, and do a gauge swatch or something. I've never done that before, so like done a swatch that way, so I'm not sure. I need to figure that out. But I do still need to swatch. Anyway, Till the Cows Come Home, and she calls for 4 colors, and if I can remember, I'll pop a picture up of the order of my colors. So, and it's, when you see it, it's in the order color 4, and then 1, 2, 3. So, color 4 is, did I write these down in the right order? Somehow I feel like I didn't. I won't tell you what color each one is because I don't remember, but like I said, the picture will have them in 4, 1, 2, 3. So they're there, or you've seen them already. Anyway, so I'm going to use, I do know that this is color 4. This is Peppermint Bark. Yeah, my light's doing weird things today. Sorry, guys. But yeah, this is Peppermint Bark by the Woolen Homestead. This is her sturdy sock base, which is 75/25 Peppermint Bark. And then, yeah, so this is the only full skein that I'm using. I didn't have enough of scraps that went together, so I did have to break into this. But I don't mind, because I literally had no idea what I was going to do with this. I think I just bought this colorway because it was sitting there, and it was pretty, and it was kind of a Christmas colorway, and I was ordering other yarn. Not to say that I don't like it, but it's definitely more of a pink, and pink is not really my color. But it's going to come in good use for this. So another color I'm using is Super Cool Party People, which is Woolen Boon in their Boon Classic base. It's 100% superwash merino. And then I'm also going to use, this is more of a purple. That's kind of what it looks like. This is Miss Babs in the Caroline base, which is, I think it's an 80-10-10 MCN base, merino cashmere nylon. And this is the Provence colorway. And then this ball of mess, because like this is left over from my Hermione socks, and then I had this other one. But anyway, so I'm using both of these, and this is Rain's Obsessive Stitchery in her Fred sock base, and this is the Sin Hala colorway. So this is Maybe this is the order that I have them in. I don't know. I haven't looked at the picture yet. But, yeah. So this is my color scheme for that. And yeah, so what I was saying earlier, so if you signed up for her newsletter, she's doing it where like you can get it for free, but if you sign up for the newsletter anytime between, it started on the 16th was when the clue came out, so if you signed up the 16th through the 22nd, you had to wait to get you have to wait to get clue 1 when clue 2 comes out. And of course, I found it on the 16th instead of the 15th, you know, just one day. One day late. But that's fine because, you know, I have so many other whips that I'm not really worried about it. So, that's all of Cravin It, and let's go through retail therapy. This is going to be super quick, guys, and then I can show you the other whip. So, the non-exciting one first. In my Takumi interchangeable set that I was showing you, I had to get another set of US 4s, 3.5 millimeters tips, because was that August, I lost one of these when I was at my parents' house. We never found it. No idea where it went. None of us have any idea. So, and I only lost one, so, you know, I could still, like, work in the round on things if I needed it, but I can't work flat, which is kind of annoying. So, finally just sucked it up and said, okay, cool, I'm gonna get some more tips for that. So I have size 4 tips again. Yay. I need to actually put them in the case. And then I got... Okay, sorry, an email just popped up on my computer. Apparently they're all just going to pop up right now while I'm recording. Anyway, so this is my Christmas present to myself. I really wanted another interchangeable set, and I wanted it to be metal because my Takumi is already bamboo. And I really wanted a metal set. So I got Chows. Because like I said, so like I have the mini twist that Melissa gave me for my socks, and I have another Chowgu. It's on a very, very old languishing whip. It's a big blanket, and it's like a 60-inch cord. But yeah, even when I got that needle, I was like, wow, I love this. This cord's amazing. The needles are really easy to use. I loved it. So, I knew that it was either going to be between Addie's and Chowgu's, and so I went with Chowgu. So, I didn't really have to take that out. But anyway, this is the one I got. Chowgu Twist Red Laced Interchangeables, and I got the 4-inch tips. So you can get either 4-inch or 5-inch. I got the 4-inch tips, and I did get the complete set. So up here, you can get like the small sizes, or you can get the large sizes. I got the complete set, which has both of those. Yeah, and then like I said, the 4-inch tips. So, oh my gosh, guys. I love this already. If you noticed, I'm already using them. So, my Walking with Elephants, I'm using those. And then what was the other one that it's on? Oh, so when I picked back up my All About That Brioche, I don't really know where the needles are, so I'm not going to try to pull it out and show you. But they have the cable connectors where you can screw the cables into each side of the connector, and then you get a longer cord from the cords that you already have. So I love that. I've already used it for that because so they send you 8, so with the kit you get 8-inch cord, the 8-inch cord, the 14-inch cord, and the 22-inch cord, and that like doesn't include the length that it is after the needles are on there. So anyway, you get those 3 lengths of cords for both the small and the large needles, and I knew that I was going to need to have the next cord length, which is the 30-inch cord. It makes a 30-inch circular needle. So I knew that I was going to need that. Somehow it wasn't in my cart by the time that I checked out. It was there. I don't know why it wasn't when I ordered the stuff, but it wasn't. but I'm kind of glad that it wasn't, because I didn't realize, all the small ones are basically all being used right now, but so you get one for the small tips and the large tips, like the sizes. So I need to make sure when I go back on there that I get one for each. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't order it now, because I might have accidentally got the wrong thing. So I'm going to show you the inside of the case. I love this so much. You guys have no idea. This is way more easy for me, way easier, that's a word, for me to organize. And you can see what I've done. So this is the small side, because these are the small sizes. So lowest is US 2. We don't get a 2.5, which is a 3mm, which kind of sucks. But oh well. It's metal, so it's going to be a little looser anyway for me, and I'm already a loose knitter, so it might, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so these are the small sizes, and you can see what I've already done. I think this is how I'm going to store my needles, instead of trying to get it back in this tiny bag. Like, yeah, so you can see how, like, they have them all twisted up in here perfectly. I'm never going to be able to get it back in there like that. So, they have, like, these are where the needles go, and then there are these little tips just fell out. I'm so stupid. Why would I hold it like that? Anyway, so they have these little pockets right here, and I've just kind of been, like, putting my needles in there. The cords, I mean. So I think that's how I'm going to keep my cords, like, on each side, because this is a small cord, and it's on the small side. So the large cords can go on this side. But yeah, I just dropped a lot of my needles out. I'm going to get these up. Okay. But yeah, so that was my Christmas present to myself. Sorry for the clinging. And what I really loved, so one, they give you like this little info sheet for kind of like what all you have, how to use it. So I read all that, and I was like, oh, that's cool, great, man, this sucks. So what, I have to go like order all this stuff? The whole time I never paid attention. There is a zipper on the front. Never saw this at all until like hours later, because I was so excited I just didn't pay attention. So in this little pouch on the front, they give you a needle gauge. Awesome, because I needed one. And then these are just little stitch markers that you can use, and they come like in different sizes, which I love. And then in here are all the fun things. So they give you 2 keys, but one of them is just like over in this pouch because I was using it earlier. And then down here you can see that's the large cable connector, because I'm using the small one already. And then these are end stoppers, which I'm so happy to have. So like if you need to take the tips off of that project, you can put end stoppers on, so so that your stitches don't fall off, which is going to be super helpful for me. So these are the small ones and the large ones. And yeah, I love it. I'm so excited about this, guys. As you can see, because I'm already using them ferociously, and I love it. It's just making me super happy. This was a really good purchase. So far, the 4-inch tips are working fine for me, because, there's like an overall kind of cable. My mini twists that Melissa got me, those are 5-inch tips, which I think for me, for socks, that is better. Yeah, like since I'm using those for socks, I think I do like the 5-inch tips better for that. But, ooh, now that I think about it, I ordered another set of the 1.5mm like sock tips for those. I hope that I got the 5-inch tips. I don't know, I'll have to check. Not that it'll matter, it's already been shipped out, but hope I got the right size. Anyway, okay, so that's everything for retail therapy. And okay, so one last final thing, and then I'm going to call it a day, because this is going to be a really long episode. So, last whip is the Mystery Knit Along. So, if you don't want to see this, I'm at the end of Clue 3. I am caught up. So if you don't want to see this, thank you so much for watching. I will see you hopefully in a week, and I hope you get lots of crafting done. Mwah. But if you would like to stay around and see this beautiful, beautiful project. Oh my gosh, I love this pattern. So, this is being housed, as always, in my Aggie's bags. This is my fall bag. Yay. And, as usual, I will show you the yarns first. So all of this is Midknit Cravings yarn, which is an Etsy shop. She is from Canada. This is the Harvest colorway on her sweet sock base. Color 2 for me is, ooh, look at that sparkle. I love it. I love that you guys can see this beautiful sparkle. But also it's 16% stellina, so, you know. Anyway, but color 2 is actually blowing out a little. It's got a little bit more of like a creamy color to it, but this is Cinema on her sugar silver base. And this third color is Curtain Call. That is also not the right color. It's showing up darker on screen. Maybe it'll be better when I actually get the video up when I'm not recording, but right now it's showing up darker on screen. Anyway, this is Curtain Call on her sweet sock base. So, I'm not using either of these right now, obviously, they're not connected. And you can see how much I have left of color 1. I actually don't know how much this is, and my scale is buried. But I wound this pretty tight, so there's probably a good bit left. And actually, I'm just curious now as to how much I have left, so I'm gonna weigh it. It says 37. So I still have the band, the ball band in the middle, so it's probably 36 grams. I mean, it only adds like an extra gram, but yeah, so around 36, 37 grams. So this is the project. I just finished it last night because I worked really hard on it, like full speed, and then I just got to working on other projects, and I didn't really want to work on this. But I really wanted to have it done through Clue 3 for you guys today. So I am done with Clue 3 and anxiously awaiting Clue 4 on Sunday. So, showing it now. And, okay, so where's my marker? So, okay, let's do this. So if you remember when we first started, there was a provisional cast on in the middle of this section. And we worked up. Up to here was Clue 1, up to that first orange marker. From the middle of this section up to there was Clue 1. And then, so the lace was all of Clue 2, so up to here. So this marker is marking the end of Clue 2. This marker is saying this is where you guys last saw it, because I was at the end of Clue 2. Yeah, so all of that was done. So, Clue 3, and we, like, barely started the decreases. Oh my gosh. So, I love this. I kind of figured that this was going to happen, too. So, so everything above that is Clue 3. Sorry, my head was itching. So, all of that's Clue 3. So, we finished, we did another eyelet section with color 2, and then we faded back in to color 1, and we did this kind of the same like stitch patterns that we did back here. We're just doing them all while we're decreasing, and then we finished and we cut our yarn. And then so that was a great moment for me because finally I didn't have two cords just like kind of dangling everywhere, so which made it feel like a fancier project to me, but I am glad that the longer one is off of it now. So, yeah, so then I should have marked it, but it's fine. Anyway, so then we came back to where our provisional cast on was in the middle of this, and we started working those. So right now we've just mirrored what is on the other side. what we'd already done in the yellow on the other side. So we just mirrored that. We finished the lace mesh, did broken seed, and then did the other lace mesh, like what's up here. So I'm really interested to get, so, oh, this is it. I was going to hold it up for you guys so you could kind of see it so far in its entirety. So this is what it looks like so far, and it's already like pretty big. So I'm really looking forward to this, but yeah, I'm loving it. Same, intuitive, great knit. Like if you were an adventurous beginner, I think you could do this. Like, you know, this lace right here might be a little intimidating, but you know, just take it slow, and I love it. I think it's great. So yeah, Clue 4, they're technically supposed to come out on Mondays, but for me, they get here on like Sunday evenings, like actually around this time, just on Sunday. So in a couple days, I'll have Clue 4, and I'm really excited. I'm interested to see if we're just going to like repeat this on the other side, or if we're gonna do maybe something a little, not to say that this isn't interesting, but like kind of like how when we got to Clue 3, it was like, oh, we're decreasing and finishing, and then we're gonna go back. You know, kind of like, is it gonna be something interesting again like that, or are we just gonna, you know, repeat this on the other side? And if we do, I don't care, because I think it's beautiful, and that would be great. But yeah, just looking forward to what it's gonna be on the other side. So, like, are we gonna decrease again? Like, is she gonna just keep it straight out? Like, I'm very interested. Plus the last clue. So each clue has been dedicated to a sister so far. So the first clue was Christina's, and the second clue was Jamie's because she really wanted the lace, and then the third clue was Sarah's. So the fourth clue is Katie's, and I'm really interested to see what she asked for to be in the shawl. Like, that's what's making it very interesting to me. Like, is it going to be the same thing, or is it going to be different? I don't know. Or maybe what she asked for was symmetry, and so it's going to be the same thing. Yeah, I've tried while I've been working on it not to, like, you know, take guesses like that and try to. They have a prediction thread in their Ravelry group for people to kind of guess, you know, what's going on next. What do you think is going to happen next? But I haven't read anything in it. I haven't posted in it because, yeah, no, I don't really care. I trust them. I have loved all of their patterns that they've shown on their podcast and that they have on Ravelry. I've loved them all, so I knew that I was going to love this, and I love the colors, so I'm not worried. But yeah, so that's it. That's everything. Okay. Feels like I should still be talking to you guys about something, but I'm kind of worn out, and I've got 30 minutes to get my stuff packed and head out. So I'm going to call it quits. Can you guys tell how tired I am? Like, my hair's doing crazy things, and my allergies stop acting up, though, which is good. But yeah. Anyway, so same thing I said earlier. I hope that you guys have a super crafty week. Make some things that you love. Don't let them stress you out. Crafting is not supposed to be stressful, guys. It can be frustrating, because all parts of life are frustrating, but don't let it stress you out. Take a breather. Let it be blissful. Yeah, so I will hopefully see you guys next week. Have a lovely weekend. Stay safe. I know a lot of people are getting icy weather right now, including my parents. Yeah, so wherever you are, just be careful. Yeah, bye guys.